Hello, everyone. This is Nasir Qureshi, a Realtor Daddy with Texas Signature Realty. This is another hot episode of Wisdom Wednesday, on which we interview an expert of an industry that involves the real estate industry. We invite them and interview them, learn from them, get to know them. So today we have attorney Angela from Houston, Texas with us. Hi, attorney Angela. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for inviting me here.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for your time. You're a very busy attorney, and I appreciate it. So, um, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is attorney Angela Walter and what she does?
Okay, so I am an attorney here in Houston, Texas. We handle transaction, litigation. Mainly, we focus on real estate. We also handle business transaction and litigation as well. Let's see. As far as myself, I was born and raised in California, lived in Hawaii for a little bit, then moved to Texas. So that's
Oh,
that's me in a nutshell.
fantastic. So, and I also you're a realtor as well, right?
I have my real estate license. However,
Mhm.
I don't use my license as a realtor usually does for our clients.
Correct.
It's mainly for myself because I invest in real estate. I essentially got my real estate license because I kept on calling realtors and for some reason nobody picks up their phone. Um, and so then eventually I got a realtor to help me look for properties, but it seemed that it took a while. You have to go through the process.
Correct.
So I figured I'll just get my license because it's easier and it's for myself. It's not that
Yeah.
way I don't have to wait on another person. Anyways, so the license is mainly for myself.
Mhm.
However, sometimes, if like a close friend or family um needs my help, once in a while I'll do, but I rarely use it for anybody else other than my own family or myself.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, tell me about it. Realtor's not picking up the phone. Deal with that every every day. So which law school you went to?
I went to South Texas College of Law. That's
Mm.
in Houston, downtown Houston.
Very good law school. A lot of friends went there.
Yep.
Very good law school. So what attracted you? There's so many areas of law, right? Like myself,
Oh yeah.
I've been a paralegal before. Not don't do that much anymore. Immigration, state, federal, this and that. I did multifaceted. Why real estate?
Okay, so before I became a realtor, I actually wanted to uh become a daycare director and go that path. It just didn't happen for couple of reasons, but anyways, I won't get into that. But later down the line, while before becoming an attorney, I invested in real estate, had my own business, and also had to hire attorneys to help with real estate or business matters. And it just so happened that I was thinking to myself, if I'm gonna continually hire an attorney, and you do eventually need an attorney in real estate, not all the time, but it's good to have an attorney in real estate because certain issues arise. Anyways, when I wasn't an attorney, I would say one of my biggest expense was going towards the attorney. And so I figured, you know what? I it's solving two problems with one. Reduce the expenses, and then two, learn more about real estate, and what better way to learn more about real estate than to actually get into it besides doing it as a side hustle, right? And so I already had my focus that if I'm going to become an attorney, it's going to be real estate related because that's essentially the point of why I became an attorney, is because I wanted it mainly for selfish needs to get more access into understanding real estate and the law. And then also, I already had friends and investors and acquaintances that do real estate, so also serve them as well, since I was already like referring, um, clients to my real estate attorney.
Okay. And it's an evergreen field.
Yeah.
You know, it's always, as long as there's earth, there's going to be a real estate,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So unless we all move to another planet for some reason, all together, right? So uh your website, which is, can you tell us your website, please?
It's treblegal.com. So Treb, TREB, stands for Texas Real Estate Business Legal.com.
Nice name. I like the name of business. So it mentions some other lawyers that
Mhm.
are involved in your practice or with your practice or at your firm. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, please?
Yeah, we have several attorneys. We have attorneys that help with the transaction portion and real litigation portion. Then we have a mix of attorneys that do both. Now, in real estate and business, what you often see is overlap, right? So, for example, in real estate, it could be real estate overlapped with family law, or real estate overlap with probate matters, or real estate overlaps with business, and so forth. So we have attorneys that are experienced more in one area than the other, but everybody in our firm understands and does real estate and business. So for instance, Christian Strong, he handles real estate, business, and probate. So estate planning. He's focused on you know, anything that has to do with guardianship. That's when somebody is incapacitated and needs another person assisting them. Uh, he also helps with estate planning. So in the event that somebody passes away, what's going to happen to all your assets? He also helps with probate. So in the event somebody passes away, you may go through probate matter and take care of certain um, asset transfers, right? Then we have Cody Lyons. He handles trial cases with both real estate and business. Same with John Hill. Um, we also have Teddy Bertolatis. He helps with real estate matters and business matters on transaction side and litigation side. So transaction meaning like purchase agreements, drafting contracts, reviewing documents. Then you have myself who also does real estate and transaction.
Excellent. I like the setup. You know, this is really very people driven, client driven. He thought of different
Yeah.
things, and I like that. I really appreciate it. So, anyone wants to ask you a question or wants to contact you, what the public should do, and what would be the initial steps?
There's a couple ways to contact us. They can either call us, our phone number, which is 832-205-8144. They can schedule an appointment with us to talk to one of our attorneys. It's also on our website as well. We do offer free consultation, and then we also offer paid consultation. So the difference mainly between the two is with free consultation, if they want an assessment, interview the attorney, vice versa, give an overview of their case and figure out if one of our attorneys thinks that this is a case that they can take on, or if they're pretty much to give them an opinion on whether this case is worth pursuing or not. And then also we have paid consultation. So sometimes clients, they don't necessarily want an attorney to, they have a big extravagant case, or they don't have a need for an attorney to do anything other than review their documents within that 30-minute to an hour consultation. Or they just want legal advice about, a situation, and they just want their 2 cents. That's where the paid legal consultation comes into place. Um, or, if there's something that they want us to do within an hour, we can do it. So for example, I'll give you in the past couple of weeks what we did. You know, a client came in, provided us a one-page document and asked us questions about what these terms mean and whether there are additional terms that needs to be in that contract. So that's an example of when somebody uses us for paid consultation. Another one is just, you know, gave us an overview of what's going on and asked us for our suggestion. It could be like real estate related or business strategies. I get a lot of real estate, sorry, not real estate, but business strategies with these paid consultations.
Okay. Um, in your experience, generally speaking, as a lawyer, most of the litigation or the issues or disputes and legal matters that you have handled
Uh-huh.
in the business world, from the business, what are those common ones, the common ones, generally speaking?
I, I would say most of the ones that I've handled were business disputes. I'll give you a couple of examples without, you know, breaching confidentiality.
Of
And they
course, yeah.
also have to do with real estate. I would say majority of my litigation cases are real estate related. Um, one was we had it was like probably about a 3-year case before I stepped in. So another attorney had this case and there was a dispute between three separate parties, right? Everybody was suing each other. So countersuit, cross claims, and so forth. When I stepped in, and the reason why I stepped in was there was no need for me until they wanted to settle a real estate matter. So what happened was that our client owned a property, and on that, and he wanted to sell that property. However, there was some issues with lending, right? So seller finance, and then there was also a third party lender. On it, there was also a tenant, and the tenant, um, there was an issue with the tenant's lease agreement. It gets complex. I'm trying to like make it as simple as possible. Anyways,
I know, yeah.
uh, bottom line was there was a purchase dispute, there was a tenant dispute, and then there was a financing dispute, and it all got jumbled up because all the documents were not exactly, they needed additional terms in there that wasn't in there. Long story short, I ended up becoming a co-counsel with the owner, the one that was selling the property, the seller. We ended up getting him 1.25 million dollars that he walked away with in the settlement agreement. And what happened was at the very last hours, we were in mediation for probably about 9 hours and nobody wanted to do anything. It wasn't going anywhere. And the mediator was going to call it impasse. So an impasse means that he was just going to give up and say, you know what, after these 9 hours, everybody just goes on to their merry way. We're just going to continue with the lawsuit. I was there for 9 hours, and mind you, I did not get to eat. They did not provide us lunch, so I was very I guess hangry. So I went into the other room, which I wasn't supposed to. But anyways, I went into the other room and I told them, hey, this is what we need to do. And if we don't do it, then we're just going to move on with the lawsuit. They said, no, we're not going to do it. They didn't care for what I was saying. So I was like, forget it. Okay, I'm packing up my bags and I'm leaving. So right when I was about to leave, they come into our room and they said, yeah, let's just settle. And we finally got it settled and we got our client that $1.25 million. Um, that was on a commercial real estate case. Uh, Another one that just we won $400,000 for our client plus attorney fees, court costs, and all that other stuff. That was recently, I would say probably about 2 months ago that we won that case. So it was a case between a warehouse and a distributor. And our client was the distributor, and the warehouse pretty much lost our client's inventory. So
Wow.
we just won that one recently. Let's see. Another one that we got recently is and there was going to be a lawsuit. The other side threatened us, but I got my client 100 and a little bit less than $200,000 that we got our client. Those are the ones I can think of on the top of my head.
Fantastic. Thank you for answering that question. And you gave good examples, and I really appreciate that. And pretty sure the audience will appreciate that in the view. There are so many law firms. How do you distinct your law firm from others?
You know, I think it's ironic. You would think that people answer their phone similar to realtors. What I had the problem with realtors answering their phones. And I know you're different because you're very responsive, but it's the same with a lot of professions, whether it is, like a drug testing company or a doctor's office. Sometimes I've noticed what we implement with others is being responsive, and it should be given. It's funny because you would think that if they're in business, they should be responsive, but I would say that is one of our distinctions is that we have a 24-hour policy that we respond within 24 hours with our clients. Another is that we collectively, and I would say other law firms, real estate companies or real estate law firms are also exceptional as well. I worked against other real estate attorneys, and I could say hands down, there's a lot of impressive real estate attorneys. I would just say that ours is that we're responsive and we have a good network of attorneys that um, have different experiences and different insight in different aspects of law, not just real estate and business. But then, for example, Christian Strong, even though he's a probate attorney and he does real estate, his background is also in real estate, and um, he used to work for the court, and he was a law clerk for a while, so he understands the ins and outs of court, right? He also was a family attorney as well. So even though now he focuses on real estate and probate, he understands other aspects that other attorneys may not know. And for me, for example, I invested in real estate for a little bit over a decade, and so I see it from an investor standpoint. Um, then you have like Teddy Bertolatis. He started off as a transaction attorney. So he understands it from a transactional standpoint. He does real estate and business litigation now, but because we come from different backgrounds and we collectively have similar experiences, but also different experiences that we can join together and help our clients tackle nuances that one may not know or the other may not know, or then we strategize together. We're also very resourceful. One of the things that I pride myself in is that our firm has we're constantly trying to implement the latest technology concepts. We have like an abundant of resources to help us solve problems, our clients' problems. Something that may take, I would say, 10 hours in researching, now it takes only a few hours just because we have that additional resources to back us up, which saves our client money, because attorneys, it is pretty expensive hiring attorneys.
It is. I'm glad that you mentioned you touched on the communication. For
Yeah.
the viewers who may not know me, I was for 15, 16 years litigation and senior paralegal, multifaceted in different areas of law, and being a published author of 5 books. 2 of them are best-selling. My first book was an Amazon how not to hire a bad immigration lawyer, a practical guide for hiring the best immigration lawyer. The
Uh-huh.
formula from the title of that book, it sounds like I don't want people to hire a lawyer. And it's the opposite. In the book, I encourage people to hire lawyers instead of taking the legal matters on their own hands. But
Yeah.
I educated people how to hire a lawyer and what question to ask. I empower them with the question, things like this, because one, I'm not a lawyer. Two, I am a legal consumer. I've been a client of law before, and immigrant myself, and paralegal. So I brought a really great, unique perspective in the book as a guide for people to how to hire a lawyer, you know. And in that book I wrote years ago, from my experience as a paralegal in a legal industry, number one problems that come between from the lawyers and the client is because of the communication. That's
Yeah.
where all that's where all starts from. And in that book I also mentioned how to, not important it is just how to hiring a lawyer, but what actually a client should do with their lawyer to make the best outcome to help the lawyer to help them, which is one of the communication. Communication is such a big problem in every industry. And I'm talking about this. I don't think so. This chat GPT and stuff solves it because it's a robot with a five or
Yeah.
10 sentences after that. That's it, you know? So I'm glad you guys doing that. Yeah. That's why I'm very responsive. I have to be. I love it.
Yep.
I love communication.
It's important. Time and communication are, I think, the two most important things. With communication, before I became an attorney, I had other attorneys, of course, that I hired. And even though the attorneys that I hired, they were pretty responsive. And that's why I hired them, because I wasn't going to hire anyone that I couldn't get a hold of.
Of course.
Um, my attorneys, they were pretty decent, but it also came down to like hiring an attorney that represents you the way, and maybe not the way you want them to, but what is best, the best in the best interest for you. And
Correct.
so what I realized after I became an attorney is that even though I liked my attorney, he was responsive, he was educated, he was very easy to talk to, he was a very friendly guy. But after I became an attorney, I realized that he wasn't the best advocate for me. And so when we opened our law firm, we decided that any attorney that we're going to hire is somebody that we would also want representing us as attorneys. We're not just going to hire somebody just because, maybe they're more affordable as far as like providing them a salary, or, that they're a yes person, but we want somebody that knows what they're doing, that they know how to fight for us or for our clients. And this is somebody that we want on our team, because if we want them on our team, it's going to make us that much stronger. And
Of
then
course.
as far as communication, like it's essential. Like this is everybody, people come to attorney not because they for any main reason. They come to attorneys
Because they
because
have
they generally
problems.
have an issue. Yeah. And
Yes.
it's something that is, stressful in their life. And that's why they're coming to us, is because it's on their mind. And um it just boggles my mind that attorneys don't they the clients are the end users, and so they want to know what's going on. And if they don't communicate, it's just going to stress out their clients. And even a simple, like, we're working on your case, or, we're still waiting on the hearing,
Hmm.
even if there's nothing going on. And sometimes what I mean by there's nothing going on is that in litigation, sometimes we're just waiting. For example, when we file a petition, we also have to serve the defendant, right? And we have to wait for the process server to serve them. Then we also have to wait a certain time for the defendant to answer.
Of course.
And even though we're just waiting and the clients want some feedback, even a simple, hey, we're just waiting for the client, for the defendant to answer within, 20 days past, the following Monday. Even a simple answer like that, relieves some stress from our client because they know that, okay, well, our attorneys are not just doing anything or not just sitting around, or, the court is still, waiting for certain documents, or we're still waiting for the defendant or something along that line, that there is some type of progress. It's just that we have to allocate that time, towards
Yeah,
waiting.
to communicate. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I really totally understand that, and I understood that long time ago, and I really appreciate you understanding and expressing that in this interview. I really appreciate that from you because I get it that I understood long time ago that average person, when they hire a lawyer, they have a problem, and they don't know. So it's not
Yeah.
like going to a club or bar to have a good time. Law firm is not a bar or a club to have a good time. People have a problem and they are stressed, and that's why they're going to a lawyer who has the license and the knowledge and qualification, and then they hire them, and there's a problem, and those people have to be notified or keep them in the loop. On the realtor side, um, that's a, many people, they also do this, that many realtors don't inform their client listing a seller with what they're doing. So whether they're doing or not, actually, they should be doing their work, but some realtors do their work, but then they don't inform their work. They inform their seller client with the work that they're doing. That's a mistake. And and so the client, seller, Mr. Seller, thinking, oh, realtor is not doing nothing, you know. So, and that's why sometimes some realtors have bad opinions and then for sale by owners and yada yada yada. So I personally send text message, email, blast, everything to all my clients. They will never ever have problem with me complaining. Everything's documented and deliver this. So, okay. Um, tell us a little bit about when attorney Angela takes off her lawyer hat on a daily basis, get in the car, and driving away from the law firm. What is that? Who is that, Angela? What's going on in that?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
tell
So
us a little bit
I
about
have
that.
I have three children. I have a 15-year-old, I have a 3-year-old, and I have an 8-month-old. So I spend a lot of time with them. Um, I also love gardening. So I'm trying to make a food forest in my backyard. So right now I think I have maybe a dozen trees, and I have probably about a handful of different berries like blackberry, raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, and a garden box. So I do a lot of gardening. I love gardening. If I could make um that into my actual career, I would. The only issue is that I don't think I want to. I rather give away the fruits and vegetables rather than sell it. And I don't want to do mass production, and you can't really make a good living unless you have like a good mass production. So I just right now I just like garden, and with friends and family I give them away, give the fruits and vegetables away. Because sometimes I get like sometimes I'll have like for example, when I had sweet potatoes, I had probably about 60 pounds of sweet potatoes. And I'm not gonna eat all the sweet potatoes, so I just gave a bunch away. Probably kept like maybe 5 pounds for myself.
All right. I would like to be on that list, giveaway list. uh, uh, yeah, excellent. So does Angela cooks?
Yeah, I cook too. I cook too. I have like a bunch of pumpkins that they should be finished in probably about a month. so right before Halloween. So hey, I'll invite you over. We can go pick pumpkins in the backyard.
Right? That'll be fun. And yeah. So the pumpkin season is just around the corner.
Yep.
So what's the nice or most likable or memorable place in the world that Angela has been?
I would say I've been to Greece. I went to Greece, I think on mine and my husband's 7-year anniversary. We went to Delphi, and there's a hill. It's called not a hill, but there's this area called the Oracle. And I remember when I was sitting at the Oracle. So the Oracle is basically a place where back, 2, 3,000 years ago, um, before war, they would go to the Oracle and they would give the Oracle, they would get their blessing from the oracles,
Offerings,
the
yeah.
yeah, the offerings, the Greeks would. And anyways, when I remember I was sitting there, and I was looking out at the mountains, and it was just nothing but um pink, what's that stone? Um Pink marble mountains. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And you see like goats in the background, like mountain goats in the background, eating olives from the olive trees that are hundreds of years old, and then almond trees all around as well. And it was just a very peaceful atmosphere. And then
Okay.
I would say the second best place is Hawaii. When I lived in Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii for about 8 years, and my goal is to move back to Hawaii and retire there.
Beautiful place. Yes.
Yep.
What is one book that you would recommend to read to the people?
Um, I think I might have the book here. No, I don't have it. Sorry. There's a book that oh, I do. I have a book. Okay, so I gave this book to a couple of people, and this is one of those books that I give to uh my friends, or people starting out business once in a while. It's The Greatest Salesman in the
In the
World.
world, yes.
Yep. It's a very easy read.
Financial book, yeah.
It's about 110 pages, but the font is, I guess you can't see it here, but then the
Yeah,
font is very big. So you could probably finish it in, a couple hours.
correct.
But basically, the greatest salesman in the world is, how to sell. And if you think about it, we're always selling, whether it's our business, ourselves, in relationships, we're always
Mhm,
selling.
mhm.
And so this has helped me throughout, my journey, not only in business, but also uh building relationships with others. Regardless whether I'm trying to sell them or not, it's about building relationships.
Yes. Great book. I read it. I know it very well. Very good book. Good recommendation. Yeah, we are always selling everyone, even the one who are denying that and they say they hate it, selling it. They're actually selling it, that they are not salespeople. I hope you got that.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people don't get that. So, so that was my long time old rebuttal to people. So I'm not a salesman. I'm not a salesman. So keep on. You've been selling me that you don't sell. All right. So this is my like favorite part of the last question of the interview. It's this my favorite part is because I'm just a little person and trying to make a difference in my own way that I know in the world, right? Here and in the what one advice that Angela will give or message to the world, not as a lawyer, not as a realtor, just as a human being, one message or advice as a human to another human in the world, what Angela will give to me? Because this is your moment.
Let's see. My advice is, and this is probably cliche because people hear it often, is your time is your most valuable commodity. Uh, Unlike money, time is gone forever if you don't use it. So find, I would say, spend quality time as much as possible with the ones that you love, because at the end of the day, and I used to work in probate as well, is that once somebody passes away, or even once you pass away, like you're left with just memories, and it's something that you can't take back.
So time, spend it wisely.
Yeah,
Don't
spend it
waste it.
wisely.
Spend it wisely and make it memorable, good time,
Yep.
and don't
And
waste it.
yep, and it doesn't have to necessarily be with people, but something for anybody. Just find something you love to do and spend it doing that. That's what when I talk to people that are near their, in that are a bit older, in the 80s or 90s, it's always about like how much time they should have done this or should have done that. So if there's something that you want to do, just pursue it, or if you have the time to, or spend it with the people that you love.
Great. Cherish your time.
Cherish your time. Yeah.
This is the right. Okay. So, Council, thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us,
Thank you.
giving us insight who you are, your law firm, what you do, and a great advice. And I appreciate it. Hopefully that this message will go out to somebody, and at least one person in the world can hear you and your message and makes a difference in their life. And that's really worth a while. So thank you so much. And we'll love to have you again on our show in the near future.
Thank you for having me.